Hey, good afternoon. Thanks so much for joining us for SBB Live. We're here today with Bruce Rosenblatt, joining us from Senior Housing Solutions. I want Bruce to tell us a little bit about himself and introduce us to his co-partner here.
Well, thank you very much, Amanda, and thank you, Senior Blue Book, for allowing us to do this live video. This is very exciting, being the first that Senior Blue Book has done.
First one.
First one, so this is very exciting. And so put up with us for a little bit. So yes, I'm Bruce Rosenblatt with Senior Housing Solutions, and this is Brenda Rose. She's also a Senior Housing Advisor. And so we're very excited about being here and tell you a little bit about what we do.
Perfect. Can you tell us a little bit about what a Senior Housing Advisor is?
Sure. So a Senior Housing Advisor provides advice for people who are searching for senior housing types of communities. I've been doing this for over 30 years, and I really have the inside track on all the different communities in this area. It kind of amazes people, but there are over 100 different senior living communities in this area, and I know everything about each and every one of those. So from resident satisfaction to quality of care to staff turnover, financial stability, to contract types, to every little anything you would want to know, I know about it. And so, for the consumer out there who is looking, imagine, how complicated that decision is. Imagine going to, 50 different places. You probably never would do it. And so, we meet with you. Our services, in the most part, are 100% free. And we meet with you and understand your situation, and from there we're able to help narrow down the different choices and share with you all the different options that exist.
Great. Thank you so much, Bruce.
You're welcome.
There's a lot of options out there. The differences between a CCRC, an active adult community, an independent living community. Tell us a little bit about the different communities and how you would lead your clients to make a decision on what would be best for them.
So that's a really good question, Amanda, and I appreciate that. And so what we do is when we meet with you and we sit down with you, we kind of understand. We want to understand your situation, and everyone's situation is different. And so, if you are trying to plan ahead and you want to live in this area for many years and you're in good health, well, then maybe a CCRC is the right option for you. However, if you are, thinking about possibly moving back up north at some point, or maybe financially you can't afford a CCRC, then maybe the rental option is the way to go. And then, maybe you're living at home right now, and maintenance is getting a little too much, and you have no one to help change the light bulbs. Well, there are independent living communities out there that provide those types of services.
Perfect. So can you tell us, I know that your role is a senior housing advisor, but you also do a lot with your clients to help them through the different phases of moving. So tell us a little bit about that part of your role.
So, we're sort of this one-stop shop, and so as we try to help people every stage of the way. And so in addition to helping people find the right senior housing option, because I've been in this area for 27 years, I have a lot of different resources, from home care to movers, to realtors, to attorneys, to financial advisors. And so, I have a little toolbox, and whenever someone has a need, I'm able to open my toolbox and find that right person to fit those needs.
Perfect. And I know a lot of folks really want to age in their own home, but tell us why they should consider moving to one of these senior living communities. What are the advantages of being in a community like this?
Well, there's a lot of fun. There's a lot of fun. These communities have a lot of fun, but I think the big topic and the big reason why people do it is for peace of mind for the future. They want people know that they're protected, that when something happens, then they know that there's going to be care available for them. So that peace of mind and that burden is lifted off someone's shoulders, and so then they can enjoy their life. When you have dining services and you have housekeeping services and transportation services, these add convenience and luxury to your life, so you can enjoy a hobby or play cards with your friends, or read a book or do whatever you enjoy doing, or go traveling. I think it's great that someone can, go on a cruise or go visit their grandkids and just shut their door and have this maintenance-free lifestyle.
It's a beautiful thing.
It is.
It's not too early to sign
And
up, is it?
And I know, if I took a poll out there, everybody would, the majority of people would say, I want to stay at home for as long as possible, and, I want to live and die in my home. But the reality is that, that might not be the right solution. And trying to manage home care, trying to, work all those things out is extremely, extremely difficult. And, when you're living in a community, you already have all those built-in mechanisms to help you.
Yeah.
So.
Well, let's shift gears for a moment. We've talked a lot about what a continuing care retirement community is and what an independent living rental community is. Can you tell us the biggest difference between an assisted living community and a skilled nursing community?
So another good question. So she's got good questions today. So, there's a lot of confusion out there, and there's also a lot of confusion between when we talk, independent living communities and assisted living communities and skilled nursing. But assisted living communities are really designed for people who need some type of assistance. They need some help, maybe with medication reminding, or maybe somebody to make sure you're safe in the shower. But you're able to do certain things on your own. You're still able to, live independently, but maybe you just need a helping hand. And that's really more assisted living. And there's different types of assisted living, and there's different types of licenses that we won't get into today. But so you have assisted living, but skilled nursing is when you really need 24-hour nursing care, when you need the services of a nurse or an RN to take care of you. And many times it could be under rehab, or it could be over a long-term basis where someone is bedridden or has a long-term need where they cannot care for themselves at all. So no one ever wants to go to that level, and hopefully no one needs that level. And that's sort of the beauty of assisted living, because assisted living has slowed down that transition to skilled nursing. And so now people are able to stay in assisted living much longer and be in a more residential environment rather than a clinical environment in a skilled setting.
That's fantastic. I think there's a lot of misconceptions between assisted living and skilled nursing, because people just automatically think that they're going to need to go into a nursing home, and even that terminology is quite outdated. So.
Well, and I met with a client the other day, and she says, I need assisted living. And so I met with her, and I said, why do you think you need assisted living? And she says, well, I don't drive anymore. and so after that meeting, we were able to find her independent living, which provides transportation, and she's happy as ever can be.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's our mission here at Seniors Blue Book. Knowledge is power. We want to educate you for these opportunities so you're not driving around looking for something that isn't even appropriate for you, and that's where Bruce comes in. So tell us a little bit about the Medicaid situation here in Lee and Collier County. If someone needs a Medicaid bed, how easy is it going to be for them to get that opportunity?
So the Medicaid situation is very challenging in this area, and so there's no assisted living in this area that takes Medicaid. And so there's a program called a Medicaid waiver that some assisted living communities do offer, but there's typically a year wait time. And normally you have to be living at that facility in order to apply for the Medicaid waiver program. So it's extremely challenging, and unfortunately, many times people have to move outside of the area in order to get it into more of a metropolitan city.
Yeah, and that's the reality that we're dealing with here in Lee and Collier County specifically. And I think it's really a national problem, if I'm not mistaken. So thank you so much for joining us today. Sure, please.
So, everybody always asks me, when is the right time to consider moving to a senior living community? And I have actually it's on the back of my car.
It is?
It is on the back of my car, but I do have a saying that it's better to be 5 years too early rather than 5 minutes too late. And if I can leave you with that, I think it's a very important message, because you cannot wait for a crisis to occur to make a decision like this. These communities are resorts, and they offer wonderful lifestyles. And trying to make a decision when you're in a crisis mode is not a good decision.
No, you
And-
make crisis decisions in crisis situations.
Correct.
So.
And instead of having a lot of options, now your options are limited. And I had a client that said, we wanted to select where we moved to. We didn't want to have to settle, or we didn't want our kids making that decision for us. And so, you gotta, this is a big decision. It takes a lot of research. It takes tapping into our knowledge about the different places. And then once you figure that out, then you can figure out your timing.
Mm-hmm.
But you're not going to wake up one morning and saying, "Okay, dear, it's time to move." It just doesn't work that way. It takes a plan. It takes organization. It takes the resources. And so tap into us. As I said, the majority of the time our services are 100% free. And so tap into what we know before you make a decision, before you start calling all these different places. Use us for what we know.
Absolutely. And Bruce, tell our viewers how they can reach you. And it's never too early to call, right?
It's never too early to call. I answer my phone pretty much 24/7. My phone number is 239-595-0207. 239-595-0207. Our website is www.seniorhousingsolutions.net. So you can look for us in the Blue Book. We're all over the Blue Book.
Yes, they are.
And I know Amanda does symposiums that I speak at as well. And so reach out for us, reach out for myself or Brenda, and we can help you.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for joining us today for SBB Live. Have a great day.